Back again, and I'm doing a bit of another in-depth video on the Bandit. This was recommended me, or the guy who kind of made me decide to do this. His name is Micron RC. I'll post the link to his channel in the description. If it isn't there, then Micron, if you're watching, just post the link, because sometimes I tend to be a bit lazy, and I'm kind of down because I had a race yesterday, and my Soroseki, first race with it, I finished dead last in the B main, but the 4x4, that was the biggest disappointment. I'm good with that truck, and I finished dead last in the point series, even though I finished like 5th in my other track point series, which closed down. But the Bandit's kind of broken right now. This piece right here broke. But as far as the suspension, biggest question people would ask is, what suspension? So these are rear / two-wheel drive shocks. This is a / two-wheel drive A-arm. These are turnbuckles off / two-wheel drive. So basically from here out, it's all / two-wheel drive. But that allows a ton of down suspension travel. And in the rear, we've got the same deal, except this is a rear Bandit shock rebuild kit. Biggest problem I'm seeing is that bend. It's in there. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a bend there. These are slash tires. I've got slash hubs. Basically, the hub carrier here, sub-axle carrier, that's all slash. The wheelie bar, got that before this whole system, but the biggest problem is if you're going to do this, you also have to swap the slash axles and the whole system here. Biggest problem is it's got so much angle when it lifts that will just torque back, and that'll snap the axle very, very quickly. So the one upgrade I would recommend doing if you do a build like this, or a basher conversion, is you want to do metal axles. Metal axles, and I've got all metal gears in the transmission. This was a vintage Bandit. It's been updated. Another thing I recommend doing is I've got the aluminum part. That was probably $20, $30 part there, but well worth it. Make sure you install screws once so you can strip it out. Shock oil weight is about a 70, I think. Something decently thick. It's got a decent amount of travel to it, but that's still very easy to move. So it doesn't have a lot of rebound, but it's got travel. It's very, very thick, so it rebounds fast, but it's a good build. I've got some shims in it. The battery itself, sorry, it's not suspension, but I had to cut away the firewall there to accommodate it, and I've got to pull this out in order to get the battery out. But it's a good build. Thinking about doing a suspension drop using zip ties or some cheap method to drop the suspension like that, so that way we can either do a gasser look or it'll help it from snapping the axles. This was a vintage Bandit, so upgrades I've done is the bumper, whatever that's called on biking. The steering rack is upgraded. Of course, the suspension. I'd recommend aluminum for these and these. I've been running slash tires with these. These are the Proline. What are they called? They're a Proline Split 6. Proline Split 6s. They're bead lock. These are slash offset. So if you're gonna do this conversion, make sure to get the slash offset in particular. Do your research so you know which one you're getting, because there are there's also the mixture of the low seat techno and associated offset, which are all one rim, but there's also the slash one, which is this. My next upgrade I might do on this, I might lower it, turn into a drag Bandit. So the longer arm, it's a little more stable. I'd recommend maybe a smaller gear if you're gonna do this, because this one has way too much torque. I'm probably gonna go slicks. The biggest problem if you do a conversion like I did, which this was a vintage, so I had the Stinger, but the wheels, you have to make sure you do a really good gluing job, or that rim will rip right off. I've got a set of slash tires here, I think. Yeah, these were on it. Popped, foam started popping out. I've also here's the box of stuff. Here's a buggy tire. There's another set of impacts. God, why do I have so many sets of impacts? So as far as that goes, I've also got these, which they're Proline road rages, but I'm not sure exactly, because there's a slash tire. So I'm not sure the exact size of these, but as far as if you're looking for short course for just the rubber, because you can't really get the rim, but if you're going to look for tires, because all the tires are the same for short course. Also, company you definitely want to check out, Dialed RC Hobbies. Really good prices. Gene Hickerson, excellent guy. The shipping time on him is very short, and I wouldn't recommend anybody else. I'm based out in Florida. I've just recently got a big shipment in of parts for my buggy, and if you're looking at getting into RC racing, which I know some people are, or looking at getting into RC, I would not recommend the Bandit. The Slash is okay, but if you're looking at like the Slash 4x4 Ultimate or something like that, you want to go towards a Techno SCT 410.3. You're gonna spend a little more money. It's gonna be a roller kit unless you buy it off eBay like I did, which you're gonna have your lemons there too. But that and the biggest thing, if it says ADR-TR, that usually means you add your own receiver, which it can look like that. That's the Traxxas one. But you usually have to add that and a battery, and you're ready to go. Transponders, sometimes you can find those at the track, but there's a whole bunch of different, there's drag racing classes. You can get into street drag racing with these suckers. There are people who do it. You basically, if I were to turn this into a street drag car, I'd lower the suspension, put metal axles in, put slicks on it. There's not much else I would do to it. It's a nice build. It does have its weak points. It's a good little car though. I like it for what it is. It's a Bandit. But when you're getting into RC, which I failed to do, is do your homework. Look at what you're getting. Don't go for the cheapest truck there. You're surfing eBay, don't go for that cheap truck. Do your research. If you can actually go on Craigslist and find it so you can meet them and see what you're getting, and you can examine it close for cracks and stuff like that, do that. Like right here, oh wow. Oh wow. I didn't even notice that. It just broke off. Let's say that's missing and you can't see that in person. You're gonna want to go and you're gonna want to look at the car itself. And is that there? If that is, you say, that price is a little too steep. Give me $5 off. Something like that. Always look for little imperfections, or that, like maybe a crack in the A-arm, or a scuff, or something like that. Let's say it's not in the best condition, you've got a hairline crack run through here. Point all of those out and make it seem like you don't want it. Usually give you a better price. But the bead locks, they're nice. There's tutorials out there on how to install them. I feel like an idiot, and if Micron had one of these, I'd pay him money to get another one. But if Micron, if you watch this, if you have any suggestion on how to fix that besides super glue and duct tape, like if I could drill like a hole through or something and get that remounted. But your slash tower is very similar to that. I think you just have a little bit of difference in that. Shocks, just watch your spring length for a build like this. It's a basic build. It didn't take me that long. The travel's nice because let's say you have a big curbs and you can get the clearance over the curb. Being open wheel, the wider bumper is recommended, so you're not running it with the stock bumper, which only goes out to here, and you don't go through and whack off your A-arm. It's going to hit the bumper and then cause basically probably to ride over it, but then it's probably going to take some damage back here, which I was looking to do some different modifications to fortify this thing in the future. If I get into some more money, probably going to look at Intergy A-arms and aluminum red. Really going to rebuild this thing to be a bit of a shelf queen car, because the Bandit, I hate to say, if I had to recommend a first car, it's a bit of a lemon. It teaches you a lot about what you're going to spend on a car and how to take care of it. Don't follow me by example leaving dirt in here. Always clean your car. Don't run them in the grass. That's the number one rule I recommend. Don't run them in the grass. Now, as far as racing goes, you have different classes. This would be basically a 10 scale mod. There's 4-wheel drive, and basically what you're going to look at is Team Associated, Low C. Techno is a 4-wheel drive 10 scale mod, and I'd recommend Techno any day. Racing team, sponsorships, I wouldn't go after those at first. It took me a while. But stuff like that, it comes and goes. There's a lot more pressure on it. If you're getting into it, I wouldn't recommend it. You might want to take some more time and do some more research and gain your resume up a little bit. But there's, like, if you find a racetrack, see what days they're racing, and go out and talk to people. Make connections before you get into racing. Because usually in the RC community, if you look at what cars they run there, that's going to give you a good idea. Just ask what type of car you're running and take notes. If you want to have something that's run there often, if you break apart, you can buy one off of somebody. There's the tie rod that broke. I'm probably going to get some different color tie rods, stuff like that. Bandit's, it's a good little car, but unless you're just putting it around, it's not a very good car. But it's all in the eyes of the beholders. I mean, bandits are bandits, and there's really not another bandit out there, which Micron, if you want to go ahead and do a build like this, I won't be offended at all. Hyped car. Know you've been watching a lot. Thank you for your support. Same with you, Micron. RC, for your help. You guys really keep me going and keep me enthusiastic even at a time like this where I finished dead last and dropped one spot that I shouldn't have dropped. I should have went up, but them guys at VCRC are hardcore, but I'll beat them. I'll get them next time. I'll keep updates. Next videos are probably going to be builds, or the SOAR TD1 Sorseki TD1 e-buggy 8-scale all-wheel drive e-buggy that I have, as well possibly doing one on my Techno that I just finished up racing. So that's about it for today. I'm about out of time. I gotta pack up, go back to Indiana, or back to Illinois, and probably have another update around August. I might get a video in here about the SOAR within the next few days, but I may not. I'm not sure about spacing right now. So that's it for now. John Orville out.